Good morning, sunshine.
Please tell me I dreamt all those Scrabble losses last night.
3 times in a row.
Rub it in, why don't you? I'll just go.
Oh, you. Don't be a sore loser.
Mr. Wade is the plan. While I'm at it, I'm gonna check out the church and the...
Okie dokie. What can I do?
Why don't you continue looking into the lights? I have a feeling you could also look up the history of Conwell Springs in general, see if anything...
I'll get right on it.
Great.
Oh, by the way, don't forget to check out the page I gave you about the red scythe. It's a pretty interesting...
Right, yeah. All right, I'm off. Peace outie.
Okie dokie. Good luck.
Hey! I have enough cancer as is!
We meet again, Mr.
Homeless? That's the worst thing I ever heard of, and totally untrue.
So, what's up with the trash can? Digging for treasure?
Well, by the way, you owe me 10...
Nah, you agreed to 7.
You're busting my balls here.
Better get those balls checked out in this clinic then.
So cold. Like a steak through...
What are they?
Gober. Everyone calls me Gober.
All right.
Pleasure to meet...
So, what's your story?
My story?
Yeah, don't all bums have a story?
For your information, this is all just a dry streak in my showbiz career.
Is that so? I don't recognize you at all.
I used to have more...
That I actually believe.
Come on, man! Frankie go...
No.
Oh, silence at 11. The usual surprise?
Not ringing any bells.
Kids these days, no appreciation
So...
What about...
Give me the rundown on the usual surprises.
A lighthearted comedy taking place during the surprise birthday party of 34-year-old Sid Mc... The story is told from 8 different perspectives to keep the audience guessing who the protagonist... The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them all. Sid suddenly dies of an epileptic... I guess it's more of a dark comedy.
Oh.
Not the
I need to ask you if...
Sounds...
Do you know what...
I'm most certain...
What?
Are you sure you want to know?
Oh, just...
Okay, here we... Abducted? Oh, I saw it, man. My wife had just left me, taking the dog, not to mention I was being conscripted for the war. But I'm telling you, those goddamn aliens... Open your...
Okay.
All...
Okay.
Bye!
Excuse me. Hey!
Yeah?
They don't pay you much, huh?
No shit. What do you want?
I'm here to see Charles Wade.
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Bullshit. I know he's here. Listen, it's okay. I'm a friend of the family.
No, you're not, and I said he's not here. Don't make me call security.
What a bitch. I need to get rid of her. Hey, doofus.
Oh, huh?
So...
The best!
You know, that nurse in there, and that she always wished you'd give her a
I knew it. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from...
Yeah, that's definitely...
I'm gonna have to
How about the usual surprises?
Business and... I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's this smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts.
Nurse, he's seizing!
Oh, shit!
Man, I feel like a total jackass. Employee of the Month, Carlita Mendez. What a...
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
She's but a cub. Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with?
That's not what this is about.
Sounds serious. Perhaps I should ask Claude.
You know, Charles, the person most likely to be harmed by a gun tends to be its owner.
Very true. That's something that Japs who captured me learned the hard way.
Did my grandfather bail you out then too, or was that one of the few times?
Hold on there.
You're willing to listen to something other than your own voice? I'm stunned. I'm Kathy Rain.
Now I remember.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can...
Do you know anything about what happened?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs.
Strange. Grandma never.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had it.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Jo. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust. In her eyes, I had become...
So that's all you...
Are you implying that there's more to know? Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead.
So when did you two lose touch? I heard that...
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped. He was just too good, bless him.
I wouldn't mind teaching my old man some manners myself, wherever he is.
Yes, of course. You must. People like your father simply cannot grasp how far. So our families started drifting apart. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked.
Do you recognize the call?
Would be strange if I didn't. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward.
Perfect. Thanks. You bought a number of paint.
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the... When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, today I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Do you recognize?
Of course. Your grandfather.
You guys look like you just won the lot.
Indeed. We were mere children.
Can you tell me?
Well, somebody broke it. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, but every single painting by...
That can't be a
Agreed. Somebody was...
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from rock.
Some stunning police.
Indeed. There was a single witness.
So, I take it the case was...
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have...
Certainly.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious.
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them. Right before...
Is that so?
Tell me about...
In a literal sense. He's been
Let me guess.
either 82 or 83. I'm fairly...
Do you remember the name of the...
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom?
Yes.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her...
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy...
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place. What can you tell?
They seem like any other church. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave her.
I don't need... What do you see?
Fireflies would be my best guess.
Do you know what...
A flower. Why don't you...
Thanks, Charles.
You're welcome.
That guy is huge. Yep. Yeah,